It's spring outside, and we're getting closer to that planting season. Some of the challenges that growers are going to face this year include obviously the wet fields that we have out there, and one of the major challenges may be those prevent plant acres that we're bringing back into production. Hi there, I'm Brad Ruden, Agronomy Tech Services Manager with Agtegra Cooperative, out in the warehouse today with an agronomy update. That prevent plant field does present some challenges for us. You've probably heard of this thing called fallow syndrome. Fallow syndrome is defined as the reduction in microbial activity in the soil, specifically a type of microbe called mycorrhizae fungi in the soil that reduce in population in the soil when we have wet fields like a prevent plant field from 2019. If we're bringing those fields back into production this year, one of the challenges is going to be phosphorus availability, especially if we're going to a corn crop. Mycorrhizae fungi work along with grass crops to be able to extend the root system, if you will, to be able to access some of the nutrients in the soil, especially nutrients like phosphorus that are not very mobile in the soil, so we can extend that root system to be able to tap into more of that available phosphorus. When we don't have a grass crop on those fields for at least a season, if not more, we reduce that microbial population and we run into this situation called fallow syndrome. So how do we address this? Well, first of all, we need to be able to look at available phosphorus for that corn crop going into that particular acre. One of the first ways to start doing that is to develop a plan dealing with phosphorus availability and phosphorus nutrition for that particular acre. It starts with a good quality starter fertilizer. We recommend a product like our starter fertilizer, our 820-5 starter fertilizer from Agtegra Cooperative, or a good high quality starter, and put at least 5 gallons of that starter underneath that seed. If we apply 5 gallons of 820-5 starter to a corn crop, we're providing that crop with about 11.5 pounds of available phosphorus right near that seed. Now that's partway there, because if you look at University of Minnesota data, you will see that they'll say you need about 30 pounds of available phosphorus right near that corn plant to fully overcome fallow syndrome. So starters are a good way to get going on that one. If you're going to add starters, one of the keys that you want to do is you want to make sure you have a good partner along with a phosphate-based starter. One of those one of the key nutrients there is zinc, to be sure you have enough zinc available, because those two nutrients really do catalyze each other in that particular starter fertilizer blend. 820 has a good amount of zinc in it. 5 gallons would provide the equivalent of a quart of zinc, but if you want some additional zinc, that can be added, and visit with your local Agtegra agronomist about adding that additional zinc. Once you've added an additive to that, or a partner with that starter, you may want to consider looking at additional phosphate on that particular acre. Phosphate prices are very good right now, so there's an opportunity to apply additional dry phosphate fertilizer to that particular field, in addition to what would be recommended on your soil test. You can go beyond that soil test level to look at a build level of phosphate out in that particular field for a very affordable price in the 2020 season. And that you certainly may want to consider on that particular acre. Additionally, you may want to protect that phosphate that you're applying out there. If you're looking at a liquid starter fertilizer, Agtegra has a proprietary product called Enhance. Enhance is a zinc source, so you'd be adding additional zinc to that starter fertilizer, but it also has fulvic acid in that particular blend, which is a nutrient availability product, and it has a product in there to stabilize and make available the phosphate. In addition to that, if you're looking at your dry fertilizer, Agtegra also carries Avail. Avail is a product from Ruden Life Sciences that's been around for many, many years, and it works very well on increasing the phosphate availability in soils. How Avail works is that it surrounds that phosphate molecule and keeps that phosphate, when we apply it, from reacting with the other elements in the soil to be able to become an insoluble form. So Avail, if you want to look at the proper placement on Avail, there's a new tool from Ruden Life Sciences. They have taken a meta-analysis of all of their historical data on Avail and made it into a chart that shows you the probability of getting a response for an application of Avail. Essentially, as phosphate levels are lower in the soil, or as pH goes higher in the soil, we have a greater chance of a response to making an application of the Avail product. So take a look at that chart along with your agronomist and make a plan for protecting that phosphate that's out there. The last consideration in looking at a nutrient management plan where we've got a prevent plant acre might be to look at some of the new biological products. There's a lot of talk about biological products, whether they be a microbial product of a bacteria or even a mycorrhizae directly applying additional mycorrhizae to a particular field. You may want to consider those, at least in a test strip on your farm, to be able to consider what those type of products will bring. So there you have it, a management plan for that prevent plant acre. It starts with a high quality starter fertilizer, making sure you have a partner with it, maybe stabilizing that particular product, making it available, and considering biological products that are out there if that's an interest that you have in adding to your farm. Work with your Agtegra agronomist at any of our agronomy locations in South Dakota or Southern North Dakota to make a nutrient management plan for your farm that will help increase the profitability on every acre.